This is the bracelet that we're going to make. This one is made with 7mm bugle beads. This one is also made with 7mm bugle beads. And this one is made with 12mm bugle beads, which makes the bracelet slightly wider. So let's talk about the materials we're going to need. For this bracelet, you're going to need bugle beads, and I'm going to be using number 3 7mm bugle beads, but you could also use any size up to 12mm. You're also going to need 11/0 Toho seed beads in 2 colors, a main color, and then a color that coordinates with the bugle bead. And you're also going to need 2 6 Toho seed beads and 2 jump rings and a clasp. So let's get started. I'm using a size 10 needle with 6-pound fire line, and I'm going to start by putting 7 main color 11/0 seed beads on and stringing that on. Then I want to go back up through those beads to form a loop. Then I can tie a knot. Then I'm going to go through 3 more seed beads, 1, 2, and 3. Then I add 12 11/0 seed beads, string that past my needle. Then add 1 accent color or bugle colored seed bead and 5 main color seed beads and string that on. Then I want to skip 5 seed beads above the accent color and go through the 6th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I add 15 seed beads, string that past my needle. Then 1 accent color and 5 more main color seed beads and string all of that on. Again, I want to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip 5 and go through the 6th seed bead above the accent color. That should leave 9 seed beads along the top here. Let's repeat that. Add 15 more main color seed beads. Then an accent color and 5 more seed beads. And I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and go through the 6th above the accent color. Let's repeat that one more time. Add 15 more seed beads, string that on. Add an accent color and 5 more seed beads. And go through the 6th seed bead above the accent color. So we want to continue this pattern so that we have 4 loops right now. We want to have 10 to make a 6.5 inch bracelet. It'll be 7 with the clasp. So if you want it longer, you can go for 11 loops, but I'm going to go for 10, and then we'll show you how to end that row and start the next one. Okay, I've completed my 10th loop here that has an accent color in it, and I'm going to end the row by adding 5 seed beads. And I want to, as I flip this over, I want to skip the first seed bead in the loop and go down the next 4. That will be getting me putting out right before the accent color seed bead. Pull that tight, and then as I flip this over, I'm going to go up 4 seed beads on the other side of the loop to start the second row. And as I pull that tight, this kind of makes a little corner because I skipped this accent color seed bead. Next, I add 2 main color seed beads. I want to skip 3 seed beads and go through the next 3 along the top. So the middle 3. I add 2 more seed beads, and I want to go down, skipping this first seed bead in the loop and going down 3 more. And as I pull that tight, you kind of can see an arch here that we just made. Next, I'll string on a bugle colored seed bead, and a bugle, and string that on. Now I want to go through this entire arch and come out the seed bead before the accent color in the other loop. So I'm going to start by skipping this seed bead here and going through the next 3 in that loop and the 2 on the corner. Go through the 3 along the top. And then I can go through the 2 in this corner and down 4 more so that I'm coming out just before the accent bead in this loop. Next, I want to skip this accent bead and go up the next 4. And as I pull that tight, this becomes kind of a corner or a point. So we're going to repeat those steps again. Add 2 seed beads, skip 3 along the top, and go through the next 3. Add 2 seed beads, skip this first seed bead and go through the next 3 in the loop. Okay, we've made our arch. Now we're going to make our V. Add a bugle, seed bead, and a bugle, all the same color. String that on. And then we want to go up the 3 on this loop and 2 in the corner. We want to going to go through 3 on the top. And continue around the 2 in the corner and the next 4 of the leaf. So I'm coming out just before the accent seed bead. I'll skip the accent seed bead and go up the next 4. Forms a little point. And repeat one more time. Add 2 seed beads. Skip 1, 2, 3 and go through the next 3. Add 2 seed beads and go skip this seed bead in the loop and go through the next 3. And those steps make the arch. Add a bugle, a seed bead, and a bugle. String that on. And we want to go up, skipping this seed bead, going up 3 on the side and 2 in the corner. Go through the next 3 on the top. And go through the 2 in this corner and then 4 more on this loop. So I'm coming out just before the accent. Skip this accent bead and go up 4. And this is the pattern we want to complete to the end of the row. And I'll show you how to end that row. We're on our last component, which is a little bit different. And so I'm coming out of this seed bead, so I need to skip the accent seed bead and go up the next 4. Then I'll add 2 seed beads. I'll skip 3 and go through the next 3. And I want to continue down 2 more that are in the loop. So I'm going through 5 seed beads total. Then I'll add 3 seed beads, string that on. And add a bugle, an accent color seed bead, and a bugle. So now that I've added 3 seed beads, a bugle, seed bead, bugle, I can now skip the seed bead and go up the next 3 of this loop, plus the 2 in the corner, going through 5 total. And then I go through 3 on the top. And I can continue to follow this around. And then I can, when I'm at the place where my thread originated, I can tie a knot here. So this is the first half of the neck of the bracelet, and you'll be making the second half exactly the same, except you're going to be hooking into the accent color seed beads. Instead of adding them, you're going to be hooking into the ones on this first piece. So let's start the second piece. Okay, I've taken my first piece and I flipped it around so that I can be connecting to it. I want to make sure that I'm starting with the side that has 3 loops. The other side only has 1, and that's, you don't want to start on that side. You want to start on the side that has the 3 loops. I'm going to start the second piece the same way as the first. Add 7 seed beads, string that on, and go back up through the 7 seed beads to form a loop. Then I can tie a knot. From here, I'm going to go through the next 3 seed beads in the loop. You add 12 seed beads, and we go through the tip of the V. Then we add 5 seed beads, and we count up, we skip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and go through the 6th. We add 15 seed beads. We go through the tip, add 5 seed beads, and go through the 6th seed bead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Again, we'll add 15 seed beads, go through the tip, add 5 seed beads, and go up through the 6th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Repeat that again. Add 15 seed beads and go through the tip. Add 5 seed beads and go up through the 6th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seed bead. So we'll repeat this to the end of the bracelet. Okay, I have made my 10th loop here, and so now I'm ready to to end this row and start the last row. So I'm going to add 5 seed beads, and I'm going to go skip this seed bead and go down the next 3. Then I want to add 2 11-ohs, a 6 seed bead, and 2 11-ohs. Now, if I was using a longer bugle bead, like a 12 millimeter, I would put 3 instead of 2 here, and then 4 seed beads on the other side. But because I'm using 7 millimeter, number 3 check bugle beads, I'm just going to put on 2 and 2 instead of 3 and 4. Okay, so then I want to go up through the next 3 seed beads, and then I want to go around this loop and back down to reinforce that. So I'll go through these 2 here and around the top here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so now I want to go down, back down these 3 seed beads along the side. 1, 2, 3. And then I'll go through the 2 seed beads, the large seed bead, and the next 2 seed beads, what I just put on. And then I want to continue up these 3 seed beads. Really going up here. Now I want to go around this loop and come back down this side, kind of like I did on the other side. So I'm going to go, it doesn't matter really which way you go around that loop, you're changing the direction. So I'm going around this way this time and going down through these 2. And this time I go through the 3 and the next one. So I'm coming out just before the accent color seed bead. Then I'll skip that accent color seed bead and go up the next 4 to prepare for the next row. And as I pull that tight, it kind of makes a corner there. So I'm going to flip this around so I can complete the last row. I'm coming out of this seed bead, and I add 2 seed beads. I want to skip 3, 1, 2, 3, and go through the next 3 to make my corner. Add 2 more seed beads. Skip this seed bead in the loop and go down the next 3. Now I've made my arch. I add a bugle, go through this accent color seed bead, put on another bugle, and skip this seed bead, go up the next 3 and 2 in the corner. Then I go through these 3 along the top. And going down 2 in the corner, and then 4 more. So I'm coming out right before the accent color seed bead. I skip the accent color seed bead and go up the next 4. Forms a little point there. Add 2 seed beads. Skip 3, 1, 2, 3, and go through the next 3. Add 2 seed beads. Skip this seed bead and go down the next 3. Made our arch. Add a bugle bead. Go through the tip. Add another bugle bead. Skip this seed bead, go up the next 3 on the side and 2 in the corner. 5 total. Continue through these 3. And 2 in the corner and 4 more, so that I'm coming out right before the accent color. Skip the accent color and go up the next 4. I'll repeat that one more time. Add 2 seed beads. Skip 1, 2, 3, go through the next 3. Add 2 seed beads. Skip this seed bead, go through the next 3. We made our arch. Add a bugle bead, go through the accent color seed bead. Add another bugle bead. Skip this 1 seed bead and go through the next 3 plus the 2 in the corner. Following around to the next 3. And then we can go through the 2 in the corner and 4 more. I'll skip the accent bead and go up through the next 4. So as you can see, the pattern's coming together. Just continue this to the end of the row, and then I'll show you how to end that row. Okay, I've continued the last row, and so I'm on my last component here. I'm coming out of this seed bead, so I'm going to skip the accent seed bead and go up 4. I add 2 seed beads, I skip 3 and go through the next 3, plus 2 more in the loop. So going through 5 seed beads total. Then I add 3 seed beads and a bugle, and I go through this last tip. I add another bugle, and I skip this seed bead, go up the next 3 plus the next 2 in the corner, 5 total. And I'll continue through these 3, and then continue for the 2 in this corner and the next 3, so 5 total. Then I'll add 2 11-ohs, a 6 seed bead, and 2 11-ohs. If I was using, I'm using 7mm bugles, but if I was using 12 millimeters, then I would put on 4 and 3 instead of 2 and 2. So I'd put on a few more seed beads for that. And then I want to go skip this seed bead and go up the next 3. Then I want to continue around this loop and back down and back through these to reinforce them. So going through around this loop, through 2, and then 3, and then down 2, and I'm going to continue through these 3 seed beads along the side of the loop. And then I want to go through these 4 seed beads, or the 5 seed beads I added, the 2 11-ohs, and the large seed bead, and the 2 more 11-ohs. And I want to continue around till I'm coming out the same place I started with in this thread. So I'll continue up the next 3. We'll go through 4, 5, part of that loop. And then we'll continue 1, 2, and 1 more. So I'm coming out the same place my thread started. And then I can tie a knot. So that is the finished bracelet. So now all we need to do is add the clasp. Okay, I've snipped off my thread ends. So now I'm ready to open up my jump ring. And I feed it through the large 6 seed bead. Add the clasp and close it. Then I just need to add a jump ring to the other side. So I take my jump ring and I open it. And I want to feed it through this large seed bead. And then close it. And now we have a clasp. And that is the finished bracelet.